Hello everybody! If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 484, The Whispering Sands of Xylos, Intermediate. The bridge of the starship Wanderer was quiet. Captain Eva Rostova, a woman whose dark hair was usually tied back neatly but now had a few loose strands, sipped her lukewarm tea. Her eyes were fixed on the star-dusted blackness outside the main viewport. Beside her, Dr. Aris Thorne, the ship's archaeologist and linguist, was looking at a complex holographic display. "Anything, Aris?" Eva asked, her voice calm. Aris pushed his glasses up his nose. "The signal is definitely repeating, Captain. It's faint, very old, but it's there. Originating from the Xylos system, Uncharted, as you know." Eva nodded. Uncharted systems were always a risk, but the Wanderer was a ship of exploration. And the nature of the signal? "It's unusual," Aris said, zooming in on a section of the waveform. "Not a distress call, not as we understand them. More like a beacon, or perhaps an invitation." "An invitation from whom, I wonder?" Eva mused. "Set a course for Xylos, Mr. Xian," she said to the pilot. "Let's see who's sending out party invitations in the middle of nowhere." The journey through hyperspace, a journey that bent space and time, took 3 standard days. When they arrived, Xylos Prime was a beautiful planet, a swirl of emerald green and sapphire blue. Scans showed a breathable atmosphere and signs of complex structures on the largest continent. "No energy signatures, Captain," reported Xian. "No cities, no ships, just those ruins, it seems." "Take us down, nice and easy," Eva commanded. "Aris, you're with me on the landing party. Bring your best translation gear." The Wanderer's shuttle cut through the planet's atmosphere, landing smoothly on a wide dusty plain. Strange twisted rock formations rose around them, like giant forgotten sculptures. The air was warm and carried the scent of unknown, sweet-smelling plants. The source of the signal was a colossal, half-buried structure. It looked like a fallen tower made of dark, metallic material that didn't reflect the light. As they approached, Aris's handheld scanner beeped excitedly. "Incredible craftsmanship," he whispered, running a gloved hand over the smooth, cool surface. "This is thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of years old." They found an entrance, a dark opening that seemed to absorb the light. Eva switched on her shoulder lamp, its beam cutting into the darkness. Aris followed, his own light playing over ancient carvings on the walls. They were not pictures, but complex geometric patterns. "These aren't just decorations," Aris said, stopping to examine a particularly intricate panel. "I think this is a language, or perhaps mathematics." The passage sloped downwards, leading them into a vast circular chamber. In the center, a single, slender crystal pulsed with a soft internal light, the source of the signal. It hummed with a gentle energy. Around the crystal, arranged in concentric circles, were thousands of smaller, fist-sized crystals. Each one glowed faintly. "It's a library," Aris breathed, his voice filled with awe. "A library of crystals." Eva walked closer to the central crystal. "Can you understand any of it?" Aris activated his translation device, aiming it at the central crystal. The device whirred, then projected symbols into the air. After a moment, a synthesized voice, calm and clear, spoke in standard English. "Greetings, travelers. We are the Xylan, or we were." Eva and Aris looked at each other, surprised. The voice continued. "If you are receiving this, our time is past. We faced a great change, a transformation we could not stop, but we did not want our knowledge, our stories, our understanding of the universe to be lost. This repository contains all that we were." "What happened to them?" Eva asked the empty air. "We chose to merge with the planet," the voice explained. to become part of its energy, its life. It was our way to survive, in a sense. The sands you walk on, the air you breathe, we are here. This library is our legacy. Aris slowly walked around, touching one of the smaller crystals. As he did, images and sounds filled his mind. Star charts, beautiful music, philosophical ideas. It's incredible, Eva, their entire civilization here. They spent hours in the chamber, the Xylan voice patiently answering their questions, guiding Aris as he carefully selected a few smaller crystals to take back for study. These crystals contain information on sustainable energy, interstellar navigation, and even art forms unknown to humanity. As the twin suns of Xylos began to set, casting long, eerie shadows, Eva knew it was time to leave. "Thank you," she said to the central crystal, a strange feeling of respect and sadness washing over her. "Knowledge is for sharing," the voice replied. "Go well, travelers. Learn from us. Do better." Back on the Wanderer, as Xylos Prime shrank in the viewport, Eva and Aris sat in comfortable silence for a while. "A whole civilization choosing to become one with their world," Aris finally said, shaking his head in wonder, "and leaving their knowledge for anyone who could find it." Eva smiled. "It's quite an invitation, isn't it? And I think we've just received the most wonderful party favor in the galaxy." She looked out at the stars. The universe was vast, full of mysteries, and today they had touched one of its most beautiful secrets. The journey ahead felt more exciting than ever. Vocabulary notes. Viewport, noun, meaning a window, especially on a spacecraft or submarine, that allows people to look out. Example, her eyes were fixed on the star-dusted blackness outside the main viewport. Another example, the astronaut looked through the viewport at the Earth below. Similar words, window, porthole, observation window, screen in some contexts. Faint, adjective, meaning not strong or clear, difficult to see, hear, smell, etc. Example, it's faint, very old, but it's there, referring to a signal. Another example, there was a faint smell of coffee in the air. I heard a faint cry in the distance. Similar words, weak, dim, slight, indistinct, subtle. Opposite words, strong, clear, bright, loud. Uncharted, adjective, meaning not mapped or explored, new and unknown. Example, originating from the Xylos system, uncharted as you know. Another example, the explorers ventured into uncharted territory in the jungle. Similar words, unexplored, unknown, undiscovered, new. Opposite words, mapped, known, familiar, explored. Colossal, adjective, meaning extremely large, enormous. Example, the source of the signal was a colossal half-buried structure. Another example, building the pyramids was a colossal task. Similar words, huge, massive, gigantic, enormous, vast. Opposite words, tiny, small, minuscule, miniature. Intricate, adjective, meaning having many small parts or details, very complicated or detailed. Example, as they approached, Aris's handheld scanner beeped excitedly. "I think this is a language, or perhaps mathematics," Aris said, stopping to examine a particularly intricate panel. Another example, she admired the intricate pattern of the lace. Similar words, complex, complicated, detailed, elaborate. Opposite words, simple, plain, straightforward. Repository, noun, meaning a place where things are stored, especially in large quantities, or a place where information is kept. Example, this repository contains all that we were. Another example, the library is a repository of knowledge. Similar words, storehouse, archive, collection, depository, vault. Merge, verb, meaning to combine or join together to form a single thing. Example, we chose to merge with the planet, the voice explained. Another example, the two small companies decided to merge to become a larger one. The small stream merges with the river. Similar words, combine, unite, join, blend, fuse. Opposite words, separate, divide, split. Legacy, noun, meaning something that is left behind by someone who has died or from a past event or time. It can be money, property, or something less tangible like knowledge or reputation. Example, this library is our legacy. Another example, his legacy of fighting for justice will be remembered for generations. Similar words, inheritance, often money, property, heritage, tradition, bequest. Story written by Gemini AI. Image created by Grok 3 AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.
Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.